Right. A quick check with the AV. Is everything good? Folks, can someone verify it? Is everything good? AV is good. Nice. Great. Great. Just wait for a couple of more minutes. Probably we'll start the 25 today. Meanwhile, a big match is coming up. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be pretty interesting. Hopefully, we win this match and we get better with the points table, right? Oh, we have Cummins join the test today. We also have an Aussie fan sitting here somewhere silently. Names are pretty funny. I don't know how you even pick it. So it's definitely a big match. Definitely a big one. Hopefully we click, the entire unit clicks well today and we get going. 27, I said we'll start at 25. We have 27 now. Your game code is 004069. So, or scan this, joinmyquiz.com, make it fast. We'll get started. I'm great. I'm doing great. Thank you. Let's make it a little fast today. Everyone is eager to see the match, so let's make it quick. I'm not going to go deep into discussing stuff. Just give you a basic idea and then we'll quickly move forward, okay? Last 10 seconds. Right. We have Gaurav Singh at the top, Yuvraj at the second spot. Have a look at the leaderboard. Prateek at third, Pavan at fourth, Girish at fifth. Nice, great going. So, quick look at the question. Rahul starts practicing on every other day starting from first. So, he practices on 1, 3, 5, 7. Hardi practices on every third day starting from second. So, he goes 2, 5, 8, 11. How many days in October did one of them practice? So, we are looking at one of them on a particular day in the month of October. So, find n of A and then find n of B. And we subtract the A intersection B part twice because we have to find only one particular person practicing that day. So we cannot have both of them practicing on the same day. It's either Hardik or Rahul. So I find 1, 3, 5, 7 up to 31, that's 16. 2, 5, 8, that's another 10. The common values are 5, 11, 17, 23 and 29. That's 5 times. So 5 into 2, 10. So 26 plus 10 minus 10. Has to be 16. So not so difficult. The next one. How many times did Sachin Tendulkar get out in the 90s in international cricket? I'm pretty sure he has the most number of nervous 90s. That's what we call it, right? Nervous 90s. So Sachin is known for it. He always misses out on big match centuries. Should be somewhere around 20s and it's going to be 28, hopefully. 28 it is. 28 times. Probably that should be the most number of times. We might remember a few. The one I remember is the 98 in 2003 World Cup against Pakistan. He was going great. The cut six over the point area against Akhtar. That was a bloody great six. But he missed out on a century on 98. He got out on 98. The one I remember, it's 28. We didn't have a look at the leaderboard, which we'll do it next time. This is 102 to the base 6 minus 114 to the base 5 is what in base 4. So you have a number in base 6, you have a number in base 5, and they are asking you to subtract it and find the difference. What is the joining code? 004069. If I am not wrong, that has to be the code, 004069. Convert them to a base that you are comfortable with and then go ahead. 102 to the base 6. We don't have proper equation template, so it's 102 to the base 6, 114 to the base 5, to what in base 4? The clock is ticking. Time's up. What does the leaderboard say? Gaurav Singh still at the top. Bhupendra Sharma has come to the second spot. One quick look at it. This is a very interesting leaderboard now. Sampadas has come to 4th, Pavan at 3rd, Yuvraj has dropped to 6th spot. Again we have a Debayan Datta and Debarjun Datta. Fine, we'll look into that. Suraj out of nowhere has come to 8th. Suraj happens to be one of our winners, consistently playing. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Gaurav, again, he's still at the top. I remember seeing you in the last time. You were in the top 5 consistently. You happened to have the first spot. Great for you. 102 to the base 6. 114 to the base 5. 102 base 6 is pretty easy. 6 square into 1. 6 into 2 into 6 power 0. That's 38. And this happens to be 4 plus 5 plus 25, which is 34. 38 minus 34 in base 10 is 4. So 4 in base 4 happens to be 10. That's your answer. So classic base question. Know your bases. You can convert one number from one base to another. Right. So you do that, you are through. Next one. Sushrita Kota has answered. Sushrita, you cannot give the answers in the chat. You are giving hopes to people to win it now. Which captain holds the record for winning the most tosses in T20 International? It's simple trivia now. 30 seconds and time's up. And we happen to have Sampadas jumping to the top. Debayan Datta at second. Gaurav has dropped to the 3rd spot. Debarjun at 4th. Yuvraj at 5th. Yuvraj is going up. The Gaurav's dropping slightly. We'll have a look at it later. Which captain holds the record for winning the most tosses in T20 international matches? Happens to be Aaron Finch. It's interesting that he has not, I don't remember him captaining for a long time compared to other people over here, but he happens to have the most number of tosses. Apparently he has 48 tosses in win causes, like he has won 48 tosses. That's quite a number, considering the fact the other 3 people I see over there happens to be a captain of a format for a longer duration. Right. MS Dhoni has been captaining for what? For how long? I would have expected to go with MS Dhoni, but the answer happens to be Aaron Finch now. Nice. Nitish says Finch. I didn't know. I was expecting Morgan or Dhoni. I didn't even think about Babar Azam. It had to be one between Morgan and or Dhoni. That was my idea. I wouldn't have expected Finch. Time's up now. Let's have a crack at it. Cummins has come to the top. Cummins, stay at second. We don't want you at the top spot for some reasons, of course. Rooting for India now. If a flight that departs at 8 a.m. travels at a speed of 250 km per hour, more than the scheduled speed, the time taken for it to reach the destination, which is 9,000 kilometers away, reduces by 6 hours. So my actual speed into time has to be 9,000. So S into T is equal to 9,000. I increase by speed by 250, time reduces by 6. So S plus 250 into T minus 6 also happens to be 9,000 now. So I can get an equation of ST, some T and S, where I can substitute T is equal to 9,000 by S. So I will get an entire equation with respect to S or T. You will end up with a quadratic equation, and solving for it, you are getting the answer. If the speed increases by 100 km per hour, how long would it take? Happens to be 11 p.m. on the same day. So you will find S, you will use the same S and then add 100 kilometers to it and then see where it takes you. Right. So happens to be 11 p.m. on the same day. 8 people have answered it. That's a nice number. This is a nice conversion. 1.5 minutes for this question is a little less, but then with some proper practice you can go to it conveniently. Who has hit the most number of sixes in Test cricket? We have someone say, I want India to lose today. Let this match be that one day of bad play. Right. We remember 2023 World Cup, right? The one bad day came at the wrong point. Who has hit the most number of sixes? Okay. Who is that? Okay. Sampadas holds the top spot. Cummins at the second. Ben Stokes. That's quite a number. I would have obviously, I see a lot of people opting for Brendan McCullum. I'm not surprised. Adam Gilchrist, fine. Adam Gilchrist used to hold that record for the most number of sixes, but then apparently someone took over. Now that's a surprise. Even that's a surprise for me. I didn't know Ben Stokes had the most number of sixes. These trivias are quite easy to figure out, but then I didn't know. I would have opted for Brendan McCullum too. If you chose Brendan McCullum, well, we fall on the same boat. I would have chosen that. Right. Next one. Today, West Indies and South Africa is the best game of the tournament so far. South Africa, they have qualified to the semi-finals after 10 years, 10 long years. It's a great thing for them. Let's see what they have in store for us. It's quite a match. West Indies with South Africa is quite a match. Two big giants. After Cummins batting, okay, Cummins bats, so he has hit a ball. Bumrah ran for a certain distance in the north, but on realizing the direction of the ball, he turned east and ran for 14 meters less than the distance covered earlier and made a successful catch. He then returned to his original position by covering the shortest distance. So he walks back. So he comes back to his original position by walking. If the total distance he covered is 80 meters, then what is the distance he covered by walking? So, you know the clue. It's a Pythagorean Pythagorean theorem. It's a right angle triangle. I'm giving it to you. So he walks back. Simply find the hypotenuse. Go ahead. Probably the first time in history a bowler takes a catch and walks in a right angle triangle now. I don't know when was the last time that happened. I don't even understand how a bowler can take a right angle turn while taking a catch. But then in quant questions, anything can happen. We have Sampada still at the top. Girish coming to the second now, giving some tough fight to Debarjun and Cummins. Gaurav has dropped to 6th, Yuvraj at 7th. Hey Gaurav and Yuvraj, I've been seeing your name quite consistently. I'm glad that some new people are winning, but don't give up. You still have a few more questions. Try bagging that prize. It happens to be 34. So I look at the total length is 80. So 3 triangles, so 34, 15 and 8 could be a possibility. In that case, the answer has to be 34. 34, 15 and in that case, you are simply looking at t square plus t plus 14 square is equal to the total perimeter is 80. So 80 minus 2t minus 14. So 66 minus 2t the whole square. You simply solve for this, you will automatically get the value of t. Shouldn't be a problem to solve. Right? Next one says what? India wins every match. Hopefully they win the final too. Not worried about which match they lose. Who has hit the most number of fours in the IPL? Technically should be in IPL history. Not just one IPL match or a season. It has to be the entire IPL history. All the names are quite tough. Shikhar Dhawan, Virat Kohli, Warner, Rohit Sharma. Going with the flow, every time I expect some player to be the answer and it turns out not. I'm not going to go with Rohit Sharma. He deals with more sixes than fours. The same goes with Warner. I don't think he hits more fours than sixes. Usually you would opt for Virat Kohli. For some odd reasons, I'm going to probably opt for Dhawan. Very simple reason. I know probably if I say Virat Kohli, it is going to say Dhawan. Now that you say Dhawan, it's going to be Virat Kohli. I'm pretty sure the answer has to be between these two. Not sure. We'll see what the answer is. Dhawan. Shikhar Dhawan has more fours than Virat Kohli. I didn't know. That's a surprise. Sometimes you don't realize what you possibly assume is not a fact. Right. I would have opted for Virat Kohli. He has he has the most runs in the entire IPL history and he is consistently a boundary hitter. He hits more fours than sixes is my thought. Dhawan has apparently more fours than Virat Kohli. 11 of them have opted for it. 11 of them are more brilliant than what I am. You know the answer. I didn't know. Travis steps on an up-moving escalator and takes 48 steps to reach the top. Shreyas, who is twice as fast as Travis, takes 60 steps to reach the top. How many steps does the escalator have? Nice. Dhawan is the answer. Nitish, I didn't know. I didn't know Dhawan had more fours than Kohli. I wouldn't have guessed it. This is a typical again time, speed, distance question involving escalators and walking. What does the leaderboard say now? Sampada still stays at the top. Girish at second. Nitisha's Nitisha's jumped out of nowhere to the 4th spot. Cummins has dropped to 5. Bhupendra has dropped to 7. Yuvraj at 8. I'm still seeing all those names over here. You hear the name Travis before the game and starts. Probably, we are going to have nightmares for years to come because of that one match that you see. And then come on, whatever has happened has happened. Let bygones be bygones, and let's see what is going to happen today. Right. So Travis moves 48 steps to reach. So he does 48 steps. Shreyas is twice fast, so he should usually take 96 steps. I can straight away write an equation. He takes 60 steps instead of this 48. You can simply take the equation and solve for it. You will get 8 by x is equal to 5 by x minus 12. So you can solve for that equation and you will probably get the value. You know the answer, how it's done. Answer has 80. The escalator has 80 steps. So he walks 60 and he walks only 48. The rest, the escalator does it. We're not going to go deep into the question. We're not here to do that. Nitisha finally got into the leaderboard. Happy done. All the best. You still have a question to come to the top now. I have one more question to do that, Nitisha. Was the first cricketer to score a triple century in a test match? I need to look at the options. What do we have here? Don Bradman, Brian Lara, Viv Richards, Andy Sir. I'm going to take a guess here. Definitely not Brian Lara and Viv Richards. They happen to play later than these two people over here. Brian Lara is like in the 90s. Viv Richards in the 80s. Bradman used to play prior to them. So it has to be between Don Bradman and Andy Sandham. Don Bradman, even some people have scored prior to him. So I don't know if it is him. Because I remember a couple of people who scored prior to Don Bradman. So I don't think it's going to be Don Bradman. So Andy has to be my answer. Andy is your answer. I know that there are people who scored a triple century before Bradman did. Bradman is considered to be a great, but there were people who did it prior to him. So Andy is the person. And quick look at the leaderboard. Sampadas has retained the first spot. Girish at second, Cummins at third. Cummins somehow got into the top 3 man again. Somehow. Just like Australia does, somehow they get into it. Debayan Datta at 4th. Nitisha at 5th. Nitisha, good job. You somewhere out of nowhere you have come to the top. Bhupendra and Debayan Datta and Kea. Good luck. You have done great. So we'll just next question. So we have our winners finally. Brian Lara has 4 centuries in an innings. 4 centuries in an innings? How can that happen? So we have Sampadas at first, Girish at second and Cummins at third. Many congratulations. So Sampadas, the moment after you finish it, do drop us an email. Get the data, when you know the drill, you know how it's done. So drop us a mail, get your prize. Many congratulations. Now we have someone say 3 to 4 tests back in around 30s, last position of 14th. A good improvement. I'm happy. You can be definitely. See, at the end of the day, this is all about having some fun at the same time, like learning a few stuff related to CAT and also something about cricket. So you are going through the drill, you are having fun. As long as you are having fun, any learning is always good. Right. So many congratulations, people. The ones who have won, best wishes. The ones who came close and missed out, you can do better next time. We still have a couple of more matches definitely happening for sure. And hey, it's India. We are going to play the final and hopefully we are going to win that too. Or probably let's have this omen. Every time we play cricket, India wins. We're going to continue it. On the day of final, we are going to have a cricket and India is going to win the World Cup. So who knows, that can happen. And once again, congratulations to the people and hopefully we'll see in the next quiz paper. All the best.